Yeah, that's your
Wow, full house. Nobody yell fire. Everybody will run for the exits. The news people would like it. Not me. I mean the news people, not the weather people. Okay. So what I like to do each year is just give a wrap up of what happened in previous years. And you know, I think it's important to know what happened last year as we look forward to the next year. And we can learn from our mistakes as well. I think there was only one or two big mistakes, maybe one actually, as you'll see. Okay. So winter 2009-2010, it was pretty boring, to be honest. And I would say last spring, Drew Jackson and I had talked, and we said, wow, if you look back at what is an El Nino winter, that was last year was pretty classic. Big start, lots of excitement to start with, and then it turned into a big snooze. And I like to do a little quiz each year. Steve, Pierce, you can't answer this wherever you are. What's the best place to put on tire chains here in the metro area? Anybody have a guess?
The middle of Highway 26.
If you look closely in the middle there's a man putting on chains, I think, yeah, the
Highway
right coming down the
26?
Sunset Highway decided to just go over in that snowstorm, put on his chains right in the middle of the freeway. Now that's not safe, and I'm sure we lectured viewers at that point. That's just not a safe thing to do. In fact, we need to get out there and try that to show you how it's not safe. Okay, November 2009, we had a great picture from Tyler Mode. He always takes great pictures. And Tyler, you're going to sell your calendar soon, right? Yeah, he puts. Is this one on your calendar? One of these? There you go. He has a weather calendar, so you can find him in the back. Big swell. It started real stormy. It started with a bang. I remember last fall, and you may remember, how many of you were here at the meeting last year, right here? Remember we all got excited, everybody had to get on their little handheld phones and laptops because there was a thunderstorm passing over during the meeting. Wait, that wasn't the day we actually had the meeting.
No.
This was a different day, but either way you can see just a ton of lightning last fall on the coast. Several different times. This went on over about a month or a month and a half. So that was exciting. And then in one of those thunderstorms, November 6th, it was a weekday, I remember that. We had a tornado in Lincoln City, the EF0. Wind speeds there. No fatalities or injuries. 11 homes were damaged. 3 cars, 3 decks. 150 meters by 80 meters. And these are 2 pictures. The one on the left is from Ryan Underhill. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And there's one on the right. I don't know where I got that one. So I apologize if we didn't get credit. We had a coastal windstorm mid-November. Gradient didn't line up nice for a good 50 mile/per-hour wind or so here in the valley, so we didn't have a windstorm. But you can see pretty strong gusts along the coast. It's getting exciting. Is this what the winter is going to be like? Well, no, it wasn't. But great early snow in the Cascades the rest of the month. Earliest opening in Mount Hood Ski Bowl. There, that's the lowest ski area at the bottom at least. In years, those are the opening dates the past few years. So really good skiing. It's going to be a great ski season, right? Because November is just excellent. But that wasn't the case. We did have a little windstorm late Saturday night on the 22nd. Low tracked by. Oh yeah, that was right. That was a low that kind of came in from. I think it went like west-southwest to east-northeast. Went by pretty quickly. There was a quick southwest surge, and if I remember correctly, that was one of those really quick windstorms. Just here for an hour or two, and then it was gone. Thanksgiving was quiet, and then all the weather geeks include me. I want to qualify that. Late November, on the long-range maps, we were starting to see maybe some changes coming up. Like, ooh, wow, could we get cold air in here? Could we get a ridge just to our west? There we go. And this was actually this wasn't it was a 4-day map, it looked like. But you can see we finally had the big freeze that arrived early in the month. Unusually early and dry. Dew points got below 0 west side, which is somewhat rare. Here's some temperatures from 3 different mornings, 3 mornings in a row. There you go. 14 in Portland the first morning, 12 the next. See some of the outlying areas, single digits. And keep in mind that we didn't have any snow cover. If you have snow cover, it's easier to get cold temperatures, but we did really well for no snow cover. We didn't have a really strong gorge wind with this, kind of like in December '98. It wasn't raging. And so the wind went calm, obviously, in PDX. Often that screws up our low temperatures if you're looking for extreme lows here in Portland, at the airport at least. That east wind will blow all night, so the temperature doesn't really drop off. But this was like, I think that happened in 98 too, where the wind dropped off, the temperature dropped like a rock. We got this picture from a viewer. I would suggest draining the pool each fall. Plus, we won't all that junk in it next spring. So, leads to a big snow and ice storm. Actually, that was a big disappointment for all the weather weenies in here. We were hoping maybe we can get out of this with a big ice storm, the best in years, but nothing happened. Remember, it warmed up. We got a south wind. I think we had some traces of freezing rain on Saturday morning or Friday night. I think there was some ice down the valley too, but we were out of it pretty quickly. That was actually from, I think 2 days later, we had ice in the gorge, or a few days later. And then here's that picture. December was chilly, lots of sun the second half of the month. December was, who's got it in their head? I don't remember the facts on that. December was the coldest in many years for December. Steve.
1990.
Thank you. It's the coldest December since 1990. Because after the big cold spell, then we had lots of, I think, cool, clear nights. And then the big surprise on December 29th. I know for some it wasn't as much of a surprise as for others. I'm fully aware of that. It snowed at 32 degrees instead of rain mixed with snow at 34 or 35 degrees. But you can't really explain that to the public very well. A lot of people were unhappy. I would say that was the worst commute I'd ever seen in my whole career here. Was anybody stuck in it? Although we watched it from inside the building. So then in January, I had a gusty east wind the first week, fun at the Vista House. As mentioned earlier, the weather geeks go national. And look at that. Isn't that sweet? That's Steve Pierce, Keely Chalmers' little embrace there. A tender embrace. I'm sure it was an accident. January, we had a big soaking the first week. Oh, here we go. Sorry, ski area people, but yeah, things really went downhill. 4.26 inches of rain, all rain at Timberline, 3.5 or so. Government Camp Meadows. And then really dead. January and February were some really boring months because a good chunk of the time, this is, well, sea level pressure, the anomaly for 1 week there at the end of January. And it was very warm here, but here, this is a better one, I think. There's the jet stream. This was what a 2.5 week forecast, but there was a good graphic I had because it showed what happened a good chunk of the month. Oh yeah, how does this work?
Laser pointer's in the center. The big red button.
This is just the jet stream was depressed well south. So California got all the action. El Nino, that's pretty common. Okay, so our load for the year was 12 at PDX. You can see that was the coldest since '98, since the freeze in '98, which was very similar. So pretty cold. We had 2.5 inches. That was all during that snowstorm in December. And I'm always open to corrections here because I don't know everything. Sometimes I get a factor or two wrong here. And you can see the earliest we've had 1 inch at PDX is early November. Latest we've had it is March 10th. And then here's an 11-year graph of snowfall. And you see that one winter kind of sticks out. You see that winter is where it never snows. This is interesting. It's our last La Nina winter right there. And before that, there's some La Nina winters. Oops. I think it's only this one and the one before. I'm sure we'll talk, the next few speakers will talk all about that. And then that was that one January snow and ice storm that would never end. And I remember coming way back in the late 90s, early 2000s, coming here and saying, look, the snowfall is dropping off the PDX. Oh, look at that. That's a 10-year pull. Okay. So make what you want out of that. Pete Gus, I know I harp on this every year, but Pete Parsons, he taught me that a clock is right twice a day. That's the first time I'd ever heard that in my 20s. Pete Gus was 51. I think we're overdue for a big windstorm here. That's my contribution to the winter forecast. Is I think we're still overdue for a winter snowstorm. I mean, windstorm. Windstorm. Sorry. Okay, moving on. March. First snow below 3,000 feet since December. We went 2 months with no snow at any lower elevation in the Cascades. But then it was makeup time. Government camp, snowiest March since the mid-70s. So this is, if you haven't seen this graph before, this is from the SNOTEL sites, from the NRCS. I'm a little colorblind, so is it the light blue color?
The left one, yes.
That one,
Yeah,
oh, okay, that one is the average. Oh, the smooth one is the average, okay? Green one is the year before, and this past winter is the bluer one. Okay, you can see increase. There's the big March increase there, right in there. This is at, where is this? Oh, Mount Hood. That's the big one where they go stick the pole there and the media show up. Here's another site, Blazed Alder. This is lower. I think this is either 2,600 or 3,000 something. Far less. Look at the difference from the big year before. That massive, but that was just a massive snow year. And this year, right there. But you notice how late on both of those, the snow lingered very late and caught up with the average in May. Remember, we had a cool May. So basically everything almost stopped melting. I remember camping at Timothy Lake on the third weekend of May, and it was snowing. And there were all these reserve sites, and there was nobody in. They weren't out. So in spring, I would say the first half was pretty normal. I remember, it's all up here in my head somewhere. I remember getting my hair cut, and the lady who cuts my hair said, like, hey, it's been a pretty decent spring. And I remember up until mid-May, it was okay, nothing unusual. And then the rains kicked in, and it was third wettest May at PDX. People started getting cranky. We did have several unusually windy fronts. You could call them storms, I think, on April 2nd and also April 5th. 47 and 46 miles per hour PDX, that's tough to do in April or May. And then May at 45 miles per hour, we were within 3 of the highest ever in May. So pretty active spring that way, I suppose. June was cool and wet. It was the wettest ever at PDX. Boy, remember that? It just went on and on and on. It never stopped raining. And our latest, first 80-degree temperature at PDX. And that was on June 12th.
Wasn't summer canceled?
Matt, are you here?
Rod Hill.
Matt Savino here?
Rod Hill.
I know, I'm getting there. Is Rod Hill? Wow, where is he? Okay, so Matt took that picture. Actually, Matt and I were at a weather conference. And then coming back, we were on the same plane there. And just with my luck, we walk in, and some of the people are all excited to put their luggage in and say, oh, we love you guys. We watch you all the time on KPTV. He gets to sit up with the cool people, and I was stuck in the back seat. He caught a picture of me reading some weather book. So it's the weather dork in the back. The story of my life. Okay, summer 2010, very short. Last year we had a 4-month period really where we had warm, dry weather. That was very unusual. Warmest ever in Portland to the coolest in, what's it say, 17 years? It doesn't say that, but it's there. It was the coolest since 1993. By late August, we had some cool weather. We had some rain, and yeah, September kind of went up and down, but summer was canceled, I'd say, at the end of August. We had frequent onshore flow. If you look at last summer, the big thing I think is lots of 70s, morning clouds, especially here in the metro area, not so much down the valley, but lots of morning clouds, 70s, and then bang, a 3-day heat wave in the 90s, and then back to the cool again. Only one thunderstorm day at PDX June through September. Not that we're a thunderstorm, big hot spot here ever, but that was somewhat pathetic. 11 days of 90 plus. Because of those little heat waves, it appears it was almost a normal year that way, but yeah. We made it to 98, didn't make it to 100 this year, which is unusual. Water year rain at PDX. We finally had a little wetter year than average. You can see the averages there. Looks like the 2000s have been pretty dry. Drier than average, at least. Not like those mid to late 90s, but we'll see if the next one. It'll be up in here. That's not a forecast. So, good luck, forecasters. First, did I miss anything? Steve Pierce, is there anything critical that I missed? Just 1 or 2 facts.
You got it all.
Good enough.
I sent it to you, you got it.
Yeah, well, thanks to Steve Pierce, he sent me some stuff. But I did do some of my own work, too. Any questions?
I have one.
No chemtrails? No spot on Jupiter?
Hi, my name is Steve Pierce.
Oh, I saw you. We ran a story of somebody was murdered or something up in Vancouver. I saw you
Yeah,
go there too.
yeah. We'll talk about that afterwards. Fun in the neighborhood. What is your personal thoughts on snowfall this winter? Come on, give it
I'm
to
not
us.
giving a forecast.
Just a thought.
Okay, I don't want to step on anybody else's toes here, but what I just saw from PDX only, strong La Nina doesn't seem to guarantee us a big snow winter. I think it's incorrect to say that. I mean, that's my own opinion, okay? I don't think you could go on and say, strong La Nina, it's going to be a huge snow year. I think the chances are increased for greater than average snowfall, though. am I correct that no La Nina in the last 30 years, no moderate to strong La Nina in the last 30 years has produced significant snow here in PDX?
We're overdue.
There, see? Look at that. I don't have a problem with that statement. Somebody said we're overdue that. Good point. And there's many other factors, not just
88,
strong La
88,
Nina.
89 was pretty,
What?
88, 89 was pretty good.
We didn't only get a few inches that year?
Yeah, but
But
sales
down the
got
valley
quick,
with the
though.
freeze, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all location. Well, let's see what the others think. Any questions? I don't see any. Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Mark. All right, so breaking news, just like we had last year, we have some information from the National Weather Service. Frost advisory has been issued for tonight and tomorrow for the outlying metro area, so welcome to winter, everybody. All right, now here's the fun. All right, first speaker this morning, Tyree Wilde from the National Weather Service. He is a warning coordination meteorologist from the Portland office. Ladies and gentlemen, Tyree.